Straightforward, without hidden layers or buried consequences waiting to resurface. A time when a man's word meant everything, and trust was sealed. A time when a man's word meant everything, and trust was sealed with a handshake. We picture a time when danger wore a gun on its hip and rode a horse into town, when the worst truths could be seen from a mile away. But history rarely works the way we want it to. What if the most devastating truths weren't obvious, but hidden? What if they were concealed quietly, without violence or noise? What if they were buried deliberately, layer by layer, covered not to protect others, but to protect comfort? What if the greatest horrors of the Wild West weren't found in gunfights or discovered in shallow graves under desert sand? What if they lived in moments of hesitation, moments when someone finally asked the wrong question, or perhaps the only right one? "Take the cloth off," she asked, without raising her voice. The words sounded harmless, almost meaningless. They carried no accusation, no threat. The rancher paused, longer than he should have. Then he nodded as if agreeing with himself. He reached forward, fingers trembling slightly. And in that moment, everything collapsed. Everything he believed about who he was. Everything he believed about the land beneath his feet. Everything he believed about his past. This is not a story about violence you can see coming. It's a story about buried choices. Choices that wait patiently until the moment they surface. And by the end, you'll realize something unsettling. This story isn't just about the Wild West. It's about us. The American West of the late 1800s wasn't built on courage alone. It was built on systems that moved faster than people understood. Quiet systems, operating in the background. Systems that rewarded speed over scrutiny and valued profit over accountability. Land grants were rushed through with little verification. So ownership records were incomplete, sometimes intentionally. Railroads expanded faster than law could follow, faster than courts could establish order, faster than truth could catch up. Ranchers claimed acres with handshakes instead of deeds. Miners staked land without witnesses or boundaries. Speculators moved faster than questions could be asked. And in that chaos, men rose quickly, sometimes far too quickly. One of those men was Elias Crow. He wasn't famous, and he never tried to be. Didn't need attention to succeed. His ranch sat on fertile land, rich and forgiving, near a trade route that never slept, a route that fed cattle markets 2 states away. Crow was known as fair by those who dealt with him, firm when decisions had to be made, and deeply private about everything else. Neighbors trusted him without hesitation. Banks lent to him without concern. Entire towns depended on his beef to survive the winter. But history has a pattern few notice at first. When systems grow fast, truth lags behind. And when truth lags long enough, it begins to disappear. Sometimes the cost of that delay is hidden, covered carefully, as if forgotten, waiting patiently for the right moment. Elias Crow arrived in the territory with almost nothing. Just a horse worn by miles, a rifle carried more for comfort than threat, and a folded document he rarely showed to anyone. The land looked abandoned at first glance. A burned homestead stood as the only marker. Rusting tools lay scattered in the dirt. No registered owner appeared in any record. In the West, absence was opportunity. Crow rebuilt fences, piece by piece. He dug wells where others saw dry ground. Over time, the ranch flourished. But here was the mistake no one noticed. The faster Crow succeeded, the less he questioned the past, because questions slow progress. And slowing progress in the West meant starvation. Then one day he found the shed. It sat half buried, swallowed by time, half collapsed, as if resisting discovery. He didn't investigate what was inside. Instead, he locked the door. He covered what remained visible, and told himself it was better not to know. That single choice echoed for decades. By the time the railroad arrived, Crow was wealthy. Hundreds of cattle shipped every season. Credit approved with nothing more than his signature. The shed slowly became a legend. Some said it was old storage. Others whispered that it was cursed. Crow said nothing at all, and silence, repeated long enough, becomes tradition. Until one day, someone finally asks why. Why it was covered. Why it was locked. And why no one ever looked beneath the cloth. Why it was locked. And why no one ever looked beneath the cloth. Stay with us as we uncover the story of Elias Crow and the secret he chose to bury. You won't want to miss what happens next. Make sure you're subscribed and hit that notification bell.
Thanks for watching.